See, most online businesses drown in DMs from people in WhatsApp, Facebook, SMS, emails, and more. Conversations are scattered across multiple platforms and cover things such as sales, support, random questions, and it's just pure chaos to manage. Now imagine all those conversations flowing through one centralized platform where an agent could step in, answer repetitive questions, and even nurture leads as well. But also as a human, for you to be able to step in and monitor conversations and also step in any specific one when needed. And that's why I made this video, because in this one, I want to show you how to connect n8n for your AI agents to this platform called Chatwoot, which is this centralized inbox, if you may, that I briefly talked about. And I'll also show you how to integrate all of this with WhatsApp, because I know many of you were struggling with it and I know it's a big hassle. So we'll go through this and we're able to build a system where humans and AI agents can interact together. Let's dive right in. Well, and you might be thinking, what the hell is Chatwoot? I think the best way to explain it is by showing you a screenshot of the platform. So you see here the conversations we're having with some people. You can see here Klaus is coming from the website, Candy's from email, Facebook, WhatsApp, and hopefully you already understand by just looking at that how useful this is for online businesses, because online businesses probably have conversations across multiple platforms. So you have that, you can also chat, and you can also have more extra information about the contact that you're talking to. You can also see here that you can separate it across multiple folders, teams, and channels, which this part I don't think is nothing new, but the interesting thing is the labels that you can attach on each person or lead. And you can actually do this in n8n or with an AI to tell you the intent of this person. So this could be, for example, the person wants to talk about some software, or actually detect if this person is a potential lead, okay? So there's many possibilities here on how you can manage a platform like this. So as I briefly mentioned, we can centralize all of the conversations across different apps into one single platform. And this is extremely beneficial. And this is how we can run Chatwoot. So we can sign into their website directly, or we can use their open source version, which we can self-host. So this is what we are going to do in today's video. And another good thing is that they have their phone app, which means that you don't have to open the laptop every time you get notified of something. Every notification that appears on the web app will be sent to your phone app. Okay, this is obviously if you find the web app a hassle. I personally don't find it a hassle. I'm always on the laptop, but some people might prefer the phone app. And regarding when to use Chatwoot and its benefits, well, we're able to centralize conversations. If you need that, then this is the perfect place. We can assign tags to leads depending on their intent. We can also do some lead tracking for retargeting campaigns. We can also stop the bot or the AI agent if we don't want it to keep chatting. And one of the best things is that you can intervene as a human. Okay, so aside from the AI agent chatting to the lead, you can also step in whenever needed, right? Stop the agent and start chatting as well. And this is how it works in a nutshell. So first of all, we need to create apps for all the different social medias that we want to connect to. In this case, we're only going to do Meta, and then we're essentially connecting the official business API from Meta onto Chatwoot. And Chatwoot is going to relay these messages and send it again onto n8n via another webhook. And this is where we can process all of the conversations with the AI agent, right? So we have an AI agent over here. We're able to process all the conversations back and forth and then send it back to Chatwoot and Meta. All right, so since we're going for the open source version, we need to self-host it somewhere. That's where a hosting provider such as Hostinger comes in very handy. And self-hosting our solutions has a lot of cost benefits, since we will need to otherwise pay for a monthly subscription to Chatwoot and n8n separately. So in order to host with Hostinger, you will need to go to the link in the description, okay? I left the link in the description, and you will see a couple of hosting options we can choose from. If you're getting started, I do recommend the KVM2 plan, since it has the most amount of resources you can get for the price that you're given. So go ahead and choose a plan, and once here, push it down to 12 months and then add a coupon code that I have managed to get for you guys. Okay, so you're gonna go over here, add a coupon, and type in just Frank Nailard like that, and you'll get a nice cheeky discount for just watching this video. All right, so all you need to do now is just hit continue and finish the rest of the setup. So once you've went through the payment and the setup, you should see something like this, okay? You should see that your KVM2 instance is running with this domain over here. And now what you're gonna do is go on manage, okay? Manage VPS, and now you'll see well, you might have not have anything right now because you didn't install anything. So what you're going to do is go to OS and panel, operating system, and then you have a wide variety of operating systems to choose from. But we're not going to install only an operating system. We are going to install a panel, and a panel is going to allow us to self-host multiple applications. So we're going to focus on Chatwoot, but inside panel, we're also going to be able to install n8n. Okay, so you can manage multiple applications inside it. So let's go and search Easypanel, and you can see here it's an OS with a panel. So if you click over here, it's built on the Ubuntu OS, okay? So you go ahead and you're going to install the OS if this is your first time. And once we have this running, so once you have your panel plus OS running, then you should see this on the overview section. So now you're able to just hit manage panel, and then Easypanel will open. This is where we'll be able to open different projects. And one of the projects is going to be Chatwoot. All right, so we are going to create a project. And since we're going to be installing Chatwoot, we're going to call it Chatwoot. So go ahead and create that, and you're going to see that your project is empty. That's because we need to install something over here. So let's go into templates. So if we go now to templates, you'll be able to see all the different things that we can install over here. So we are going to look for Chatwoot. Okay, so there we go. And now you're going to be shown this over here. Okay, just leave it as it is, and we are going to hit create. Cool. So now if we go to projects, now we have the database installed, Redis installed, and Sidekick installed alongside the main application. So you are just going to wait a moment for it to just download everything and run everything. All right, so now we can see it's listening on this port. That means the Docker container has been set up successfully for Chatwoot. And if you really want to install n8n over here, you can go back. Then you will go ahead and create a new project, n8n. Okay, I'm actually going to show you then. Then we should go on templates, and it should be over here, okay? So you can go ahead and install that if you want to have n8n on Easypanel as well. But for Chatwoot, what we need to do now is to go to the domain section over here, and we are going to, by clicking, you're going to copy that URL, and let's open that on a new tab. So I'm going to copy and paste over here. Now we are here in Chatwoot, and this is the kind of the onboarding process. So just put in your name, put a company name if you want, your work email. Actually, I think you can just put a Gmail, you're fine with that. I think in the actual hosted Chatwoot application, you actually need to put your real working email, otherwise it doesn't get accepted. Now you are going to choose a password, and I don't want to subscribe to any news, and you're going to finish your setup. All right, so once you're here, all right, so now you're just going to log in with the email and the password you have created on your onboarding. Let's go ahead and do that, and then you are going to log in. And now you are presented with the following. So now we are inside Chatwoot and the main dashboard. And so this is a conversational CRM. And the plan for this video is to create an n8n AI agent, and we are going to connect it to the WhatsApp API and also to Chatwoot. We're going to be able to handle all the connections through Chatwoot, which is pretty neat. And yeah, we're going to use the official Meta API. And I think there's another option here to connect to Instagram and whatnot. And this is in the newer version of Chatwoot. So you can go ahead and install that as a newer version on Easypanel. But for this video, this version is fine because it contains WhatsApp settings. So we're going to hit that, and we go to methods, WhatsApp Cloud Authority. I'm going to use the official API, and I'm going to go through this process, but you know that this is pretty tedious. I actually discovered another method with which you don't even need to do this. You don't need to create an app on Meta for developers. You don't need to go to Meta for business and set up an app and all this stuff. So essentially there's these dudes that reverse engineered the WhatsApp protocol. With that process, all you got to do is grab your WhatsApp phone number, open your app, and all you have to do is scan a QR code, and then it's going to connect you automatically and get an app and verify your WhatsApp number straight away. So if you want to see a video about that, let me know in the description and I can make that easily for you. But anyways, we're going to do it using the official API. So the inbox name, I'm going to call it EduBot, for example. And now for this stuff, we are going to head to the Meta for Developers dashboard. So essentially you're going to go to developers.facebook.com/apps, and you're going to see all the apps that you have created. Okay, we're going to use the app to essentially connect the number and the WhatsApp account. So you're going to go ahead and create a new app, and you're essentially going to go through this process. Let's put this as hotmail.com, and you can call the app name EduBot, for example. I'll use another one, but I'll just take you through this process so that you understand how that works if you haven't done it already. So we're going to choose other. Next, you're going to select a business, and make sure to select the business portfolio. Okay, you need a business portfolio for this because you need this to essentially get access to the WhatsApp API. Okay, you need to be business. So make sure you have created a business. So go ahead and create the app. Okay, cool. And now you should see this. Okay, so once you're here, you're going to do the following. You are going to hit setup. Okay, we're going to set up WhatsApp. We're going to deal with the integration over here, and this will appear. And now you are going to go to API setup. All right, since I don't want to create it again, I'll still go through the steps, but I'll just do it from the app that I would actually use. Okay, so I'm just going to go here. Everything's the same, okay? Everything stays the same. We're just gonna go on to the same place we were, so API setup. And now what you'll need is your phone number, okay? You probably wanna add your own phone number. What you can do is add a phone number over here, okay? WhatsApp business displayed name, careful with the guidelines as well. Category, go ahead and choose other. Development agency if you want. Then what you're gonna do is add the actual number, okay? Make sure this number is not yet on WhatsApp, okay? This is important. So go ahead and add your number, and then you're essentially just gonna get a verification message or a phone call, and you're gonna go through a code to set that up, okay? So I'll leave it to you because unfortunately I have used all of my numbers that I have available in order to go through this process. So yeah, I mean, all you need to do is just add your number, verify your number, put in the code, and then your number should be verified, okay? And you should see it within the list over here. And make sure you select that over here, okay? All right, now that you've done that, what we're gonna do is just go to business.facebook.com, okay? And you're just gonna log into your business account on Facebook, okay? This is not Meta for developers. This is Meta for business. There are two separate, you could call it platforms or branches. I don't know why Meta makes it so damn difficult, but yeah, you're gonna go over there. And once you are here, so you probably get into something like this. And now you're just gonna go to settings, okay? Bottom left, hit that. And now you are going to go to system users and make sure you have a system user added, okay? And the system user has to have admin access, right? So make sure to have that. And you can go ahead and add a system user over here. Now, regarding the phone number that you just added and verified, now you're gonna go to WhatsApp accounts, and it should be one of these. So if you go to the number that, obviously remember the name that you added for that number, right? You have to go through that process with the verification at the end to add your phone number. Make sure you have that name over here. Then you go to WhatsApp manager for that. So WhatsApp account, and then you have this phone number that you just added. Okay, and sure, I think the name didn't go through, but I changed it. But the most important thing is that the status should be set as connected. Otherwise, you cannot send or receive any messages. So make sure this is displayed as connected. And if it says pending for some reason, just wait. And I can't tell you exactly how much you need to wait. It should be done in maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, okay? Hopefully it shouldn't last long, but yeah, I'm not the one that controls it. From my experience, it should be pretty quick. So once it's connected, then you can go ahead here and just go to the profile. And if you want, just choose a profile picture if you want. Sure, I'm just gonna put my face. There you go. So feel free to change anything or add anything, but then hit save. Once you're done here, then we are going to go to settings, okay? Because now we need to create a permanent token. Most of the videos on YouTube regarding WhatsApp don't even make it past on showing you how to move from a test number onto a real number, which I just showed you. But also, aside from that, they don't even show you how to generate permanent token. Most of the videos just show you how to create a token that's gonna expire in 24 hours, and then you're gonna have to keep generating it again and again and again. So what you do is, well, I show you, just go to settings, right? And you're gonna go to system users. Once we are here, now we need to assign some assets. So the system user needs to be able to have control over the app you just created a few moments ago in this video, okay? Which is the app that is responsible for connecting that phone number to WhatsApp, okay? So what you're gonna do is, you probably should see it here if you have no assets, okay? It should say something like assign assets over here, but if you already have something, then go on the 3 dots and assign assets. And now you're just gonna go to apps and make sure to select the one that you made. In this case, it's EduBot, so you're just gonna select manage app. So actually should do n8n test because that's the one that I'm using. Oh yeah, okay. This is the one that I actually created with you, EduBot. So yes, make sure to select it so that it has all permissions. I'm not going to do it because I'm actually using this one. Go ahead and assign assets to that. All right, once you've done that, now we are going to generate token here. This is what's going to allow us to generate that permanent token that I was telling you about, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and do that. You're going to select an app. In this case, it will be EduBot, but I would do this one because that's the one I will be using. Token expiry. This is what permanent token is. Permanent, so we're going to select never, okay? That's a key one. Go next, and now we are going to assign permissions. In this case, I just want to give it WhatsApp permissions, so feel free to give it the other permissions that you need or want, but this should be fine. And now we're going to hit generate token. So now once you have this token, make sure to save it somewhere safe, okay? So I'm gonna copy that and actually save it somewhere safe because you will be using this inside Chatwoot to finish up the connection. All right, so now we're gonna go back onto Meta for developers and on the app that obviously you have just set up, and go ahead and choose your number. And now you essentially have your number, you already set up your phone number, which hopefully is verified. And now you also have your permanent access token. So now what we have left is to essentially connect it with Chatwoot, okay? Do the setup on Chatwoot. So I'm gonna go back, find which one it was. I think it was this one. Yes, so it's gonna move it there. So phone number. This is over here. So I'm just gonna copy that, paste it onto Chatwoot, make sure to add the plus and remove any spaces. Phone number ID is this one over here, okay, just below that. So go ahead and paste that over here. The business account ID is this one over here. And then the API key. This is the permanent access token we just got. And for the API key, that's what I told you to essentially save, all right, for this point. And once you added that, so this is the permanent access token, now we are going to create a WhatsApp channel. Now what we're going to do is pick an agent. It's only one because we only have us as a user inside here. This is not AI agent. This is just someone that has access to the inboxes, okay? In this case, it's only us. We're the only user of this Chatwoot app. And we're going to hit add agents. And there you go, we're good to go. And the webhook URL and the webhook verification token we're going to grab. So grab the URL first. We're going to go back to Meta for developers and we are going to go to configuration. Okay, this is where we put in the first webhook URL. Okay, we're gonna paste that over here. And we have left is the other one. So webhook verification token. Okay, this is just gonna allow us to connect with Chatwoot once you go. Make sure also you have the messages property selected. Okay, make sure you subscribe to that and then hit verify and save. So this should help with the connection with Chatwoot, right? With allowing that, but we have one final step. Then we need to go back to API setup and we are going to make sure that we have the phone number selected. Oh, actually it's this one. And we're going to hit generate access token. This is just going to allow us to finalize the connection between the WhatsApp API and Chatwoot. So I'm just going to reconnect and that's pretty much it. Now we are good to go. So now you can go back on Chatwoot and just put take me there. Now you're going to see over here that you have created your inbox successfully over here. All right, so what we have to do now is, well, we have our inbox, but now we're going to test the connection because we just set up WhatsApp with Chatwoot. So we need to make sure that we're able to receive and send messages from Chatwoot onto WhatsApp. So I have opened here a WhatsApp desktop. I'm just going to send hi, see what we get over here. Okay. So we get a hi over here, which is great. And now I'm just going to send something back. So he's going to say, how are you? See how that works? See, we received that from the other side and we do. So that's great. And now we're going to try sending an image. So I'm going to do it both ways. So I'm going to photos and videos. Just going to grab this random screenshot. Okay. Sending that through. And we should see that something weird is going on over here. Okay. So we actually don't receive the image properly. And this is going to happen as well if we do it from the other side. So from our side as well, if we try to send that image, we'll see that there's some weird bug going on. And I've searched through a couple of places. I figured out, well, I mean, sure, you can see the message here, kind of. Okay. I mean, well, this is sending it back to here. So we should receive it on this side, on the left side. And we're not receiving that. So there's clearly a bug. And the bug is back over here on Easypanel, where we hosted Chatwoot. And it seems to be a problem with Sidekick over here. So if we check onto the environment over here, the front-end URL is pointing to a primary domain. So this is a dynamic variable that is set up on the domain section, but there's no domain over here. So what we're going to do is add that domain. Okay. So we are going to go back to Chatwoot where we're actually using it. And we are going to grab all of this and we're going to add that as a URL endpoint, HTTPS. So it's accessible publicly. We're going to remove that. Okay. So basically all of this, and don't add the / because this is covered by the path input over here. And once you have this, then you can go ahead and create domain created. And now inside Sidekick, now the environment variable is pointing to a domain now. Before it wasn't. So now we're going to hit deploy and now just give it a couple of minutes. And once it's finished loading, then we'll go back to Chatwoot. All right, so I'm back in Chatwoot and I actually deleted the message here because it was confusing. I was sending the same message back and forth. So I deleted this, but the one of concern is this one. This is the one that from my other WhatsApp, I sent onto Chatwoot. Okay, onto the, well, you can call it the meta number that we set up here in Chatwoot. So, I mean, we already set the domain, right? Which was the reason for the bug. And now if we refresh, the image should actually load now because now it's pointing to a front-end domain. So we see here that it got fixed. So now we can send images back and forth. All right, so now that we're able to send images and text back and forth, now we're going to connect Chatwoot onto n8n. So we covered already the meta to Chatwoot part. Now we're going to connect the Chatwoot to n8n part. For that, we are going to go onto n8n and you're going to create a new workflow. So if you don't have n8n yet, I left the link in the description that you can use to sign up. And obviously name it something that makes sense. And you are going to create a webhook because we're going to connect Chatwoot with n8n via webhook address. So go ahead and open that, change that to production URL and change it to the post method. And let's simplify this and call it Chatwoot. That's all you have to do. Save, and you are going to set this to active. And because we're setting this to active, since we grabbed the production URL, because that's what Chatwoot needs, then the only way we're able to see whenever this workflow has been triggered is by going to the executions tab. So we're going to be observing this. All right, so back here in Chatwoot, we are going to go to the user icon on the top left, hit over there, and then select Superadmin console. So that's going to open a new tab. And now we are going to go into accounts. You should be the only account. Okay. Just click wherever and you should get the following. Maybe in the new versions, this looks a bit nicer, but essentially we are looking for agent bots. So right now we have no permissions on creating agent bots. And there's like two ways of doing it on Chatwoot. There's also the option to create an automation, but by going to the Superadmin console and doing it this way and creating an agent bots, we're digging deep into all the functionalities. We're allowing all the functionalities possible for AI agents that we can connect with n8n. Anyways, we are then going to hit edit on top right, and you're just going to tick agent bots. Okay, so you're going to turn that on. Update account. And now what you're going to do is create an agent bot. So let's go ahead and create an agent bot, and we see that we have none. So that's great. We hit new agent bot and we have a couple things. So you can add a name. So let's call it EduBot perhaps. You can add an image if you want. I'm not going to do that. The account should be, well, the only one that you have. Add a description if you want. I'm going to add one, education bot, nice and simple. And now essentially what we need is the outgoing URL. And this is going to be the webhook address that you picked already. So you're going to go ahead and pick that. And remember, it's going to be the production one. So remember back here, production URL, and then click post. And then it should be copied automatically once you click. Now you are going to go back onto that Superadmin console. Just make sure that you have that. And create agent bot. And I would say agent bot was successfully created here on top. All right, once you've done that, now we can go back onto Chatwoot and we are going to select our inbox. So we are going to go onto the settings icon over here and you're going to see inboxes. Okay, we're in the account settings. Now you see that we created this EduBot earlier on, right back earlier in the video. We need to create an inbox. And now we're going to go to settings on that. And you probably don't see it, but you should have a bot configuration over here. Once you press F5 or Command R, then you should see the bot configuration over here. So now you're going to click that and you are going to select an agent bot. And you can see a little description of what it does. So they can handle initial conversations and transfer the live agent when necessary. So this is a very powerful feature. The agent can handle the base conversations and then when it's done, then just pass it on to an agent. Onto a live person. But this is the one that's going to handle the low level stuff, okay? So this is the automated part of a customer service system or a lead generation system, or sales system. You can use this and connect it to n8n and yeah, it's pretty good. So you're gonna hit update and now you successfully updated the agent bot. All right, now that we have this set up, essentially, this agent bot is now connected to this inbox, okay, that we created earlier on. And in order to test this, well, we are going to first be aware of what's going on here. So I'm gonna go back to the executions mode, make sure this is inactive and you got the production URL. And we're just gonna be watching this very closely. But in order to test this, we need to go back onto Instagram and send a message to that phone number, right, that we set up before. So we're gonna go, hey, and we should see a message come over here in the webhook. So cool, this works, and let's inspect the message. So I'm gonna copy onto the editor and we're gonna see what we received. Okay, we received a couple things. A lot of information here, which is really good. So we have the channel because we can connect it eventually to Instagram, email, and so on. So really cool. We got the phone number at some point, which is really good. And we have a lot of information that we can use for analytics to add extra context to the AI agent, for example. So this is all really helpful. We have the name, what message type is it, which we're going to use at some point, and other stuff. But the good part is that now we have connected this to n8n. So we receive something, and I'm sure also that we have the message. It was a very simple message. But we see here, content hey, and content type is text. So that's really good information. Now what we can do is we can continue this. So we'll leave this pinned because we don't want to send a message every time. And we are going to add a set fields node and we're going to start setting some stuff up. We need some information to pass on to the AI agent, which is going to be valuable. So first we would need the account ID. That's probably going to be very, very helpful. So that's probably going to be on body conversation messages. So let's look at that. Messages, and the account ID should be here. Account ID is pretty basic, but that's fine. Then we would also use the conversation ID over here. So let's have a look at the conversation ID. So that should be on conversation messages, conversation ID. There we go, over here. So that's the ID, probably unique to each conversation. Now we're gonna go for the message type. That should be in JSON body. There you go. So it's here, JSON body message type. So you're gonna drag it here. And what else do we have? The username will be important as well. So that's over here. And also the user number would be great to add. So let's add that over here as well. So don't worry, this is not my real number. This is my a burner account that I bought from Twilio. So I think that should be it. And we can execute the step now and we can save those in n8n. Good. Now we're gonna add a very simple validation, or well, I wouldn't call it validation, but kind of routing, because from the top of my head, what I can think is that we have two types of messages. We have incoming and outgoing. So essentially we need to know if it's outgoing, we wouldn't need to activate the agent because it's a message going out. So that would be either the agent actually talking or us sending a message personally, right? We actually step in Chatwoot and send a message. If it's incoming, that's when we would need to have the agent there so that it's able to answer automatically. So we're going to create two routes with a switch, okay? Two paths. We're gonna say, well, if message type is equal to incoming, then we're gonna rename the output so that we can see at the end outside by looking at the node which route is which in case we get confused. And we're gonna add another route or path. I'm gonna say if the message type is outgoing, I think it was. I tested this before because I know the message types, but yeah, this is outgoing. And then we're gonna just rename the output and make it outgoing over here. So that's it. That's it in this side. That's perfect. So now we could execute this. It's an incoming message, so this is perfect. And now we can add an AI agent. So let's go ahead and do that. Click over here, AI agent, and we are going to define what we're sending onto the agent. So we're gonna say, well, user, let's say number right now. So this is the user number over here. We're gonna make another one for the username. Let's actually add it like this. It's probably better. And let's add the username. So like that works fine. Let's remove the spaces. And yeah, so let's get the user message. And the user message is actually, oh, okay. So we actually did not grab the user message. So this is something that we should actually change. So let's go ahead and add the user message as well. So user message, what was the user message? Hey, cool. Let's run that again. And now we have the user message. So let's add that there. We are gonna add a system message and we're gonna say, you are a helpful, for now we're gonna say sales assistant. You are going to receive information from a user that is messaging you, because it could be through WhatsApp, Instagram, we're not sure, right? Since this could connect to many different apps. You will receive, it's important to be specific with what it will receive, a user number, and we might wanna do this, user number, a username, just to give it additional context, the user's name, and the user's message, and just put user message, okay? Answer politely and make sure you solve the user pain point. Okay, I'm making this on the fly, so I'm not sure exactly what I should add, but obviously this is a demo, so feel free to refine it as you want. So now you're gonna come back here and let's select the chat model. Let's do OpenAI. Cool, so that works well. Let's do memory. So let's add simple memory for now, and we need a session key. So basically, this is a unique identifier for a session. We have many users and we want to find a way to identify which conversation is from which user. So we need a unique number or a code. In this case, a phone number is unique to a person, so we can use that. So find below and we can do stuff like this, okay? This is, I think, should be fine. Plus sign should be accepted. And I like adding the context window left to 10. That should do it. And we don't need any tools at the moment, but you could add, for example, a booking system and so on, right? So that's where things get really cool, but we're gonna leave it like that. Okay, so we're gonna hit save over here. And now we need to find a way to send a message back onto Chatwoot and therefore WhatsApp at some point. We're gonna add an HTTP request, and this is going to be used to send a message back. Okay, so I have open here the documentation from Chatwoot. I had a look at it, and we are going to look into, well, where is it? We're going to go to messages. Oh, messages, create a message. So we're here. This is perfect. Okay, so it was down here. So what we can do is we can perhaps copy that. Okay, we can actually copy that over here, and let's go on to n8n. Should be, I think, a post request. It makes sense if it is a post request. Yeah, it's a post request. So then we are going to paste the URL and make it an expression, because there's things that we have to change that are dynamic. Your sales assistant, blah, 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 yada, yada. So if we hit execute step, AI agent invalid URL. So URL from where? From OpenAI. Okay, so that's just my account. It's not the right one. So we're gonna go ahead here, execute the step again, and now we get an answer. So what did the AI agent said? Hello, Fran, how can I assist you today? Cool. HTTP request. Now we have stuff here. Well, we actually had stuff from before, but essentially this from part of the URL, we have to change with our Chatwoot one. So we are going to copy all of that, everything behind the front slash, forward slash, whatever you want to call it. You're going to copy that. Make sure to remove any extra forward slashes. Okay, so this is looking good. API v1 account. Okay, the account ID we can replace with this one because we already got it from here. Account ID. I think I'm going to grab it from here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Edit fields, and then the conversational. Actually, let's do it from here. Just makes more sense since we're gonna be switching. So I'm gonna get it from the latest node, and then conversation ID. There you go. So this should be good. All right, now we need the access token, I believe. So if we go back, sure. Okay, next step, authorizations, API access tokens, and it's required. And yeah, so let's see, probably the same one. So API access token and API key. Content type, application JSON. Okay, that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is send headers, name, API. I think we do need to send that second. So on the header goes content type, application JSON. Okay, so content type and then application slash JSON. Let's just verify that that's what it is, application slash JSON. Content type big, so I might as well just grab that and let's put it that. Content type, application JSON, and then the API access token, just like that. And then the value is the value from the Superadmin console. If you remember, let's have a look. Okay, let's open that again. But remember when we set up that bot on the Superadmin console, right? We need to grab it from here, agent bots. We can edit that. And this is the access token we have to copy. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that. Okay, that's what goes over here. Okay, don't worry, I will remove this by the time this is done. And yeah, okay, so that's it for the headers part. And finally, we need to send the content we want to send on to the person to read. So send the body, and let's see what's required. So we're gonna go on to the API documentation, authorization, path parameters. Well, that's in the URL over here, so that's fine. And then, well, these are all not required, but this is. So let's see how it looks. Just content and yeah, okay, cool. So we just need to literally just put content. And here, this is where we paste the value from the AI agent. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And that's it. Okay, this should work. And now we see here that what we should get should be, hello Fran, how can I assist you today, right? So this is what we should get back on Chatwoot and therefore on WhatsApp. So if we execute the step, we see that, well, this was executed successfully. And if we go on to Chatwoot, we see that from Chatwoot, we have sent a message to the lead or the user. Okay, so this is working here. And we'll see on WhatsApp that this is the same as well. So as a user, we received an answer from the AI agent. But the cool thing about this is that we can manage all of this inside this special conversational CRM, okay, where we can manage conversations not only from WhatsApp, also from Instagram and whatnot. Okay, so that's the power of this. But yeah, essentially we have set this up. Now we can quickly test this by ensuring that, okay, we save this, okay, and this is live right now. So we can just go onto WhatsApp and keep chatting to it. So we can just say, I don't know, I have a dog that is blue. Is that a bad thing? I have no clue. I'm just sending a random message. But now that should get processed by n8n in the backend. And we see that, All right. Hi, Fran. Having a blue dog is not a bad thing at all. In fact, some dog breeds naturally have a blue or grayish coat color, which can be unique and beautiful. I'm afraid if I should listen to, to this sales agent, it's not definitely helping me with any sales or perhaps any customer support. But yeah. So I don't know. We can also say, okay, great. I'll handle that on my side, right? And then it should send a reply back. Sounds good. Have a wonderful day. Cool, right? So that works perfect. So yeah, pretty much we've set everything up. All right, so that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and a follow. That will really help a lot. And hopefully you managed to learn a lot as well and also understand the potential of being able to aggregate all of the conversations happening within your brand into one single place, right? And this is what Chatwoot is great for. And also, not only that, also being able to deploy these AI agents so that they're able to handle all the low-level boring conversations that don't require much attention. And also being able to escalate that onto a real human agent. So this sweet mix of having AI agents, but also having the humans as monitors on top. I think this is a really, really powerful combo when it comes to deploying AI agents in production, right? So if you're a business and you're watching this, let's say you're in the online space, especially, you have an e-commerce brand, you're an online coach regarding some sales funnels or marketing funnels, I'll leave a link for the description. We can build this for you. So yeah, the link is in the description. You'll get into a free AI consultation call to see if you're a right fit. Okay, apart from that, we'll also leave a guide for this and we might do a call to set this up with you. And most probably we will be able to help this async inside the private community as well. So if you're setting this up, then the private community will help. Private community also has now a 0 to 100 beginner to pro n8n course. So if you're a beginner, feel free to join the pro community. So I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. Okay, so, and also one final thing is that I mentioned at some point in the video that there's these dudes that created a tool or a plugin to be able to connect directly to WhatsApp without going through that tedious process of verifying with the business API and so on. So if you want to see a video about that, let me know as well in the comments below. Okay, I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna go for dinner. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If I missed anything, obviously let me know, but I think that's it. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.